position right now. You might want to probably move around, but this is history in the making, basically. Now I know we probably can't picture ourselves back in 1789 or 1812 or 1863 or 65 or 1912 or 1929. Can I keep going? 1940, 41, 1957, 1960, 64, 68. Can I keep going? We can't probably picture ourselves in any of those circles because God didn't want us to be there. God wanted us to be right here, right now, forming our own historical circle. Because that's what it is. Because Earth is round, so that means everything that we produce here is a circle. You'll think about that when you get home. And God made it that way. God made it that way so that everything that we do has the potential to be repeated. That means anything that's done on earth as it is in heaven has the potential to be repeated. Just remember that. God that was, is, and is to come. The reason why he's God is that he has the potential to never die. And anything that can be repeated has the potential to never die. So what am I saying? That this election cycle, all right, pandemic or not, COVID-19 or not, do you know how many elections occurred during pandemics or crisis? This is just another cycle, another repeat of history, but this time it's our circle. And we're not going to allow the past or even our future to claim this moment. We're not going to let the past, whatever happened, happened already. There's nothing we can do about it. And what's going to happen, that's in his hands. But what we do have control of is right now. Right now, this moment, this time, your circle is now beginning to be complete. November 3rd is going to be a complete circle on this election cycle. And every action, every position, every moment, every thought, whatever you have done is going to be completed. And you're going to have to look back and say, did I enjoy drawing this circle? Some of y'all have to go back to elementary school to think about this. When your teacher told you to draw an object, and didn't you get the satisfaction that you actually drew it? And the satisfaction the teacher gave you to say, oh, you did good! Woo! And you got to be able to get some praise out of your accomplishments. One of the things that I know, we've been working hard over this whole cycle. Even before COVID, we were working without even the resources. We were working without even all of the people. We were working without even thinking, some nights, where in the heck is the money going to come from? But I knew inside that I was fulfilling something historical. And me and my family, my wife, 29 years, Maria, wherever she is, I love you. I'm trying to get 20 points from her right now. Yeah. My wife and my kids, my church family. I've been a pastor for 18 years, New Life Harvest Church. And I've served even with the Richmond City GOP, stepping down from that to run for Congress. When I was in the Gulf Wars, I served with the Navy on board the John F. Kennedy during the Gulf Wars. I saw, even though I didn't understand it, why we started in July but didn't come back home until March. I didn't want to do that circle. Get me? I didn't know I was a part of a circle. We had to go over there and do what we had to do to complete the cycle. And we've seen that time and time again. Terrorism, threats to our global and economic, but even threats to our local and national economic. And I'm running for Congress in this 4th Congressional District to also begin another historical landmark circle. Because the 4th Congressional District has been encompassed about with an ideology and a mentality that we can just do what we want to do and the people don't care because the people are, defenseless, the people are passive, they're not sympathetic or empathetic. They just don't care who's in leadership. But that's not what I'm finding out.
Yes.
I'm finding out that people do care who's in leadership. I've been going around asking, have you seen McEachin? And people have been saying, no, I haven't seen him. So I came up with this name called MIA McEachin. MIA McEachin, Missing in Action McEachin. And next is going to be the milk carton with his face on there saying, missing for 4 years. Have you seen him? Have you seen him? And so we are coming in with new leadership for a stronger Virginia. That's our motto. It's very simple, but it encompasses all the ideology and the philosophy that the Virginia Creed and all that it represents for us as conservatives and as a black Republican. I can honestly say I'm not ashamed to be able to understand that this area has been devoid of leadership. It's been devoid of any type of cultivating, because we're all different. This area has grown. This was 750,000 people in 2016. It's probably up to 1 million now, with the census being taken now. We don't know all the numbers, but I know it's probably grown, and the diversity of it. And that's why we need to understand. You just can't go up in Washington, D.C. and play pity-pat, okay, with the lobbyists and the special interest groups. You just can't go up there. And, you know, pity-pat? I used to play it like for a court. My grandma used to take my money from me. It was a card game called pity. Okay, anyway. My grandma had no shame. Put your cord up there, boy. You gonna come on if you want to play. But it was about playing games with people's lives, and making policies that have no connection, have no, not even an afterthought that what would happen if I put in solar power, right? A policy that envelops creating jobs, which only lasts for a few months, and then the jobs go out. What's going to happen to all those people who are depending on solar power to be the power of the future? Policies that things like healthcare benefits, where we say if you go with this marketplace system, you can keep your doctor and your premiums can stay low. How many know that wasn't true? My premiums went up triple with Obamacare. And yet we had my incumbent who stood there and said that was safe. That was safe. Thank God for President Donald Trump, who said, let's take away the penalty, which actually froze Obamacare. It's actually in suspension, and anything in suspension, you can just kick around, okay, until you get ready to get rid of it. Because that's exactly what we're going to do when we get up there in 2020 and 2021. We're going to get rid of completely and totally Obamacare. And understand that there are things that are happening right now. You see my hat? How many of y'all been buying like a gun a week? Where you at? Where you at? I've been talking to people. I'm serious. I've been talking to people, and they literally say, I bought a gun last week, I'm gonna buy one this week, and I'm gonna get another one next week. Because they're afraid. They're scared. And after January 15th, Rally Day, how many came to Rally Day? Anybody that was up there? 60,000 people, my goodness. And there was no litter on the ground. It was actually more cleaner when they left than what it was when they came. And our governor, who has now passed the worst laws against our Second Amendment, there's no way. And we sent a clear signal to him. I've been to Chesapeake, Suffolk, Surrey, and all these other places that the city council, including Richmond, was willing to say, let's suspend the Second Amendment rights. And my incumbent, Missing McEachin, had the audacity to recommend, he said jokingly, to the governor, let's send the National Guard to take away their Second Amendment rights. I talked to some boys down in Surrey. They said, come on down here and see if you can come get my own guns. So for them, like, no way. No way. You're not taking our guns away from us. Myself being former military, there's no way, because the Second Amendment, it was put in place by our founding fathers to secure that if any of the other amendments were infringed upon. Remember the little quote there? Congress shall make no law that infringes, right, upon our what? Our God-given inalienable rights. And when that happens, that's why we have the Second Amendment. It's called the what we call the unorganized militia. Okay, that's not Antifa. Okay, that's not BLM. It's law-abiding citizens who come together, who understand that now our government is about to be overthrown for the worse and not for the good. You got to remember, the original intent of the Declaration of Independence and the Constitution was because our founding fathers saw that the government of King George had gone cuckoo for Cocoa Puffs. Y'all know cuckoo for Cocoa Puffs? And they said, we got to get away from this guy because he's about to do some things that are going against our God-given rights. And so our founding fathers put it together and they put it in the preamble. We hold these truths to be what? Self-evident, that all men are created equal and have been given these God-enabled rights. Among them are life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness. That's also including the security of property rights. So we have to understand what's going on right now. And I'm running because my heart and my compassion. I'm a father, I'm a mentor, I'm a pastor, I'm a leader, but I'm also you. I lived in the hood. I know. I grew up in the projects. I went to Maymont and Amelia and Huguenot, and I didn't go to private school. I'm not one of those ones that have this, entitlement mentality like my incumbent, thinking that he deserves to get put in because it's his time. No, his time is up. And that's why we're going to take him out. And it's time for Mr. McEachin to stay missing. And that's why I'm going to need your help. I need some people right now to understand, and you might not be excited about this, but we're going to have to go down to the wire because I believe with all my heart, everyone who needs to vote has voted, but those who need to vote, who hasn't voted yet, we have the potential right now to convince some of those people, whether it be Democrats or independents or even some sleepy Republicans, okay, that this is a crucial election and we got to get out. So I need your help. We're going down to the wire. I'm bringing Sidney Powell in. She's going to be with me Tuesday for a fundraiser. General Mike Flynn, God bless him. Yes, gave me a call the other day and I talked with him personally. And then he tweeted a tweet out for me yesterday. Oh my goodness, saying that we need guys like Leon Benjamin in Congress. He's for America. Okay, not just black America. Come on, we are all Americans regardless of our color. We are one race, come on, one blood, and we come all from the same person. You might not like Adam, but that's where we came from. Just like some of you might not like Trump. But God didn't put Trump in office for you to like him. He put him in office for him to do a job. And the job that he's done over the last 3.5, 4 years, lowest unemployment for blacks and Asians and Hispanics across the board, records over the last 50 years, highest employment for African Americans, for Asians, Hispanics, for women, and even for teenagers across the board. People have put more money in their pockets since he's been in administration because of the Jobs Act and tax reform bill. Opportunity zones, which I've been working for the last 2 years, have now gone into communities, have what we say a rising tide, raises all ships, have put more hope into communities that have been left out, distressed, and blighted. And now we're talking about criminal justice reform, where the First Step Act, families have been reunited regardless of party, political party, have come back together again, second chance, third chance. How many need a fourth chance? I mean, it doesn't matter. We got to get McEachin out. And once we get him out, then we have to really do the work. But look, before I go ahead of myself, let's focus on November 3rd. Absentee balloting, I get it. Mail-in ballots, I get it. But it's still some people who haven't decided yet. So that's why I'm here in Old Town. I love Old Town. My goodness, this is Brad Slayball way at, and Susan and all the city and county cheerleaders that are here. And God bless you all for putting this all together. I want to meet some people. And, it's not just about, look, I joined a group. You got to understand this. Anybody heard of Joe Collins running against Maxine Waters in California? How about Kim Classic running in Baltimore? How about Angela Stanton King running down in Atlanta? Well, I've joined with a group of 30 black Republicans who are now saying it's time for Black America to make a new determination that we need a seat at the table in this administration. And look, a wise lady told me this: if you're not at the table, you might be on the menu. Okay, I want you to think about that. Okay, and some of you think, oh yeah, I'm gonna be eaten up. No, you don't want to be eaten up. You want to be at the table saying we need more jobs in our black communities, or Hispanic, or Asians, or white communities. We need more what? Education reform. We need school choice in our communities. We need lower taxes. We need to keep our energy independence. Come on, we don't need to get rid of fossil fuels and cows and come on, airplanes and what Biden said about, you know, taking away fracking and everything. We know we need people at the table, and what's happening in this season is that not only white America, I mean, I hate to do the boxes, Asian, Hispanics, but Black America needs to be at the table with some people that got some sense. The Congressional Black Caucus have gone cuckoo for Cocoa Pops. Yes, they're up there, but they don't represent Black America. We have to form a new caucus when we get in. Boy, I ain't getting nobody happy about that, but I'm gonna be happy about that, because we need all people at the table. We need everybody. And understand that the engagement that we have to have is that we have to network. We have to network across the board. And we need somebody in office who's for all people, not for special interests and lobbyist groups who pack them with money so that they can turn their face away and vote for stupid policies that have nothing to do with the district whereby the people sent them in to represent. So I'm here, Leon Benjamin. If you want to still donate, anybody got $1 million? I look like a couple of millionaires out here. I see him. Come on, Maldonado. I know you got $1 million down there in Emporia. Come on. He just started the Emporia Greensboro group. Can we give it up? Fred, come on. This is our moment, and we got to take advantage of it. Don't so much look at my color. I know I'm black sometimes, okay? But look at the content of my character. Understand, we need new leadership. And what we have now has failed the 4th Congressional District, has failed Virginia, has failed. He was a part of the impeachment progress. He was a part of the New Green Deal. Have you seen his tweets on climate change? Who is thinking about climate? Anybody want to know how big the ozone layer hole is? Or do you want to know where you're getting your next paycheck from? Or where you're going to sleep? Or come on, or where your kids are going to go to school? Nobody's going to bed worrying about how the temperature of the earth has increased. No one's worrying about that. And so understand his pet peeve, the HEROES Act, that thing that they're trying to pass with all these pet projects for the Democrats, have nothing to do with COVID-19. Who wants to give $25 million to arts and humanities? They're not sick, okay? But we're talking about real relief. And so immediately when we get in, we got to give real relief. Look at all these businesses. Some of these businesses are sacrificing to stay open. Some of them are open at 25% and 50% capacity. That must not happen anymore. We got to get them 100% open and open safely. Wear a mask, wash your hands, do what you got to do. If Walmart can open, if the ABC store can open, if Planned Parenthood can stay open, then these restaurants can stay open 100% capacity. Don't fool yourself. This is the time. This is the moment. And if you hesitate, you're going to miss this election. If you sneeze, you're going to miss this election. You're going to be able to have to, what we say, exhale. All right? You're going to have to exhale. Exhale. Because that means you are going to release the authority. Just like God did. He says we're made in His image. Can I tell you that? Our First Amendment rights, freedom of worship, freedom, and that's for all religions. I'm not so worried about what you believe in, because the real power always shows up. I'm not worrying about that. But we want to give freedom for you to believe whatever you want to believe. We want to tell you you can't believe something. That's not what this nation was founded on. It was founded on religious liberty and religious freedom. But you're going to have to exhale. You got the power now. The power is in you. And what has happened with my opponent, he has tried to take away your breath. He's tried to take away your breath. The term "I can't breathe," so eloquently said by my opponent and by the Democrat Party. Well, they want that to be so that people no longer have the what? The authority and have the power anymore. And so when you give that power to government, government gets big and people get small, but that's not the government that our founding fathers made. Our government is of the people, for the people, and by the people. We have a right to exhale. We have a right to say what we want. We have a right to say we don't want this, but we want that. We have a right to say give us back our schools. The schools don't belong to government. The schools belong to the communities. They belong to the parents. They belong to the people. And so when we talk about the money falls in the child, that's an exhale. The money should go to parents. That's an exhale. The money should go to the kids so that they can choose what school they want to go to, regardless of their zip code. And I want my child to be what I think my child can be, and not what some psychologist says that gives my child an IEP, come on, or a disability, or anything else. My child is special because God allowed me to birth that child. And if he's in this planet, in this earth, he is not disabled. He is unique, and he is fearlessly and wonderfully made, and God has a plan for that child. Unlike Governor Northam, he said, let's keep the child comfortable, right? I mean, my opponent believes in late-term abortion. I made a video the other day, said, come on back and disavow it. He hasn't. But Governor Northam believes beyond that. He believes in late-term and after the child is born, so that's aborticide plus infanticide. He goes beyond aborticide. He goes into infanticide. So we got to exhale. I want y'all to breathe it out. Come on. Whatever you want to happen in this election, breathe it out. Because that's what God did to the first man. He blew into him the breath of life and said, this is what I want you to do. And so this is what you have to do to the government. Don't let the government take your breath in this election cycle. You have to breathe out what you want. If you want limited government, breathe it out. If you want faith in God, breathe it out. If you want, come on, strategic and what we call what? Fiscal responsibility, breathe it out. If you want peace through strength, which means we have to what? Fund our police and not defund them, then you're going to have to help me in Richmond, because we're going to have to get with Richmond and help our police just like Petersburg did so well. Come on. And took these groups and said, you are not going to run us out of town. You're not going to destroy our businesses. You're not going to shut us down. Then you must breathe it out. You got to get it out of you. Don't wait for somebody else to come, because nobody's coming. You're it. You have the power. You have the vote. And you have the authority. So I'm here. I'm going to hang out. And we're going to have some fun. I don't know about, I'm not doing karaoke, so don't be asking me to sing. But I'll talk, I'll meet people, answer questions. But really, this is our time to complete that circle. You are going to complete this circle. And you are going to exhale. And you're going to put back into government the things that need to go back in. We've been given the power and authority, now let's use it. And especially use it in your vote. I don't want to hear nobody talking about I don't like Trump. You don't like your mama, okay? Some of you don't like your parents, but they still birth you. And you'd be surprised if your parents like you, but they still took care of you and put Pampers on you. So just get rid of that stuff about I don't like this person. It has nothing to do with liking somebody. Allow them to do the job that they've been sent to do. And some of y'all might not like me, but you better not tell me today. Tell me later on, I don't like him, but I voted for him. Okay, great. Let me do the job. Let me go in and represent you. Let me go in and speak on your behalf. And then, hey, call me up if I'm not doing right? Because I'm not the boss. You are my boss, right? So if I'm not doing something right, please call me, or call Andre and beat him up first, okay? But call me on it. Call me on it. Let's hold each other accountable. That's what's been missing in the 4th Congressional District, the lack of accountability. And so let's have some fun for the rest of the time. Let's hang out. Let's be, come on. Let's be people, let's be real, and let's win this race on November 3rd. Come on, give God some praise. Thank you so much for allowing me to speak. God bless you all. God bless the 4th Congressional District, and God bless America. God bless you all.